First of all, that's very bold of y'all. I could never. I feel like today's going to be a great reading day. Like, I know you love him and all, but you still have to put yourself first, even though you're in a relationship. Third of all, aren't you supposed to be doing your job waitressing? I bet you don't deserve no tip. Oh my God, today. Okay, let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I realized that I haven't been introducing myself, so hi, I'm Vandy, certified book lover or resident book lover, but hi, welcome back. Ooh, lighting. Hi, welcome back to another video. It is finally time to read The Redo List by Denise Williams. I finally got my hands on this book, and the end of February is T-minus like 6 days. It's currently the 22nd, and I want to try to finish this book by the 28th. And I think that this video will happen after my February wrap-up. Since I don't necessarily want to rush myself, I really want to try to enjoy my experience reading this book. And yeah, so I think that this is going to be its own reading vlog. But I'm so excited to finally get my hands on this book and hopefully read this Black romance this month for Black History Month. So we'll see. Fingers crossed and no promises. Not trying to be too hard on myself and set like high expectations, but this is a around 400 pages, and we are following Willow and Deacon. Willow is trying to, I guess, redo some things in her life, and we have Deacon, who is Willow's brother's best friend. So we have a best friend's or brother's best friend kind of thing. So I'm definitely excited, and I'm definitely excited to see, I guess, their love blossom and stuff like that, and what they do in order to help Willow redo some of the big moments in her life. So I'm definitely excited. So I hope you guys stick around, and let's start reading. Also, I really love the dedication of this book. So here's what it says. It says, "This book is dedicated to anyone who's ever had to start over, to put one foot in front of the other as the steady ground of normal and secure crumbled under your feet, giving way to an uncertain future. This is to you and the happily ever after that is patiently waiting with open arms in the distance." And this is especially dedicated to Sarah. Shout out to Sarah. But I really love this because I feel like I can definitely relate to it right now in my life, because security is just, I feel like part of my life I just don't have it together, and I'm trying to get it together, but it seems like as I'm trying to reach my goals, it seems like nothing's like clicking or anything, or every time I get close, the door keeps on shutting in my face, and it's hard to want to keep on going. But I'm trying to push myself, and I'm trying to stay positive, even though being positive is kind of hard right now, and I feel like I'm trying to change my mindset, but it can be difficult. But I'm trying to be persistent. I'm trying to be ambitious. So hopefully that is showing in my life, and hopefully I can look back at these videos and be like, yes, it did. But yeah, so I'm definitely excited to start reading. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue on filming today, because technically I don't really film on Sundays, but I really wanted to start this vlog and start reading this book today. So I'm probably going to start reading, and I'll probably catch you guys tomorrow, unless there's like something that's really eye-catching, and I just have to share with you guys. But most likely, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hi again. I felt like it would be good for me to update you guys on my reading progress for today. I shouldn't like leave you guys hanging. So I made it a little over 50 pages. I am currently on chapter 8, and I am definitely loving this book. We are following Willow, who has been in a public breakup. She broke up with her longtime boyfriend of like 10 years. They've been together for like since middle school, and the breakup was so public and it was so embarrassing. Like, she became a meme, a whole meme, and like everybody on the interwebs are commenting and judging her, and because of that she lost her job. Because of that she obviously lost her boyfriend, and now she has public scrutiny all over her. And that honestly is so sad, and I honestly feel for her. Like, I see that, you know, every day. I feel like everybody posts, everybody comments, but honestly, I don't comment. I mean, I comment in my mind, and I comment not on the interwebs. I'd rather just like talk it out, but that's just me. But I feel for her. I feel for Willow. So in the meantime, she is staying at her brother's place, taking care of his house and his dog, because he's I think active duty within like the Air Force or something like that. And his friend Deacon is his best friend, is helping Willow out. And yeah, so she's not alone, and she takes care of herself and just tries to find her footing within like all the situation and stuff. So that's pretty much the gist so far. I am definitely loving this book. Ooh. Also, we see Sybil from what's the book called? Like Just Our Luck. We see Sybil again. So it was definitely great to see another character from a different book. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm just so excited to continue to read this. I'm excited for Willow and Deacon to go through the redo list. Oh, also, I love the title pages and just the little notes. So we have, I'm showing you a little bit of it. We have the redo list, and it's just a list of all the things that Willow wants to redo in her life, to reclaim her life, and all the things that she wants to not necessarily get rid of the memories, but create new memories, to forget about her ex-boyfriend and stuff like that. So yeah, I am 55, well, not 55, well, I guess 55 pages in, and I'm going to continue reading, but I definitely wanted to share an update for today at least. And also, another thing is some of the people in the book reminds me so much of like the things that happens in real life. Like in the beginning of the book, she's ordering like a coffee at a coffee shop. Like, she's already feeling embarrassed, and then someone automatically in the coffee shop barges up to her saying like, "Are you the drowning girl? Are you the drowning girl? Like, you look just like her. Can we take a picture?" I'm just like, first of all, that's very bold of y'all. I could never. Honestly, I could never. But that's very bold. And second of all, don't you think that's a little bit much, don't you think? First of all, it's rude. Second of all, it's a little bit much. But I don't know. I can never. But maybe it's that's just my introverted self. But I just it takes a minute for me to warm up to even just go up to a person. Like, I have to observe a little bit. But that's just kind of rude. But I don't know. But Deacon and Willow are hitting it off. I like their banter, especially when they first met at the coffee shop. I definitely think it's going to be more of a friends to lovers situation, which is definitely a good thing for her, especially in the situation that she's in. So hopefully it goes that way. I'm not quite sure. Hopefully we'll find out. I know Deacon is having a time because he is attracted to his best friend's little sister, but he also knows what the situation is, and also knows the situation of the warnings that Cruz, Willow's brothers, already warned him about. So yeah. But honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to continue on reading. I'm hopefully trying to get to 100 pages today, because we are on a time crunch, quote unquote. I really do want to finish this month. So we're going to do it. And it's been a minute since I've finished a book in like a short period of time. Lately, I feel like reading has been a little bit slower, but also I feel like life influences how much I really want to read, and also if the book is good, how fast I go through the book as well. Like, there's variable things that goes into my reading pace and stuff like that. So let me know if you guys feel the same way about like reading as well. But hopefully I can get to like around 100 pages, maybe a little bit more. But now I can definitely feel good about giving the update and stuff, because I just didn't want to like leave y'all hanging on the first day. So first day of updates are done, so I will see you guys tomorrow. It is day 2 of reading the redo list, and I did make it to chapter 14, which is around 100 pages, and I feel like things are starting to pick up with Willow's redo list. She has now met, I guess, an acquaintance at the dog park. So I think that it's going to grow into like a little something something. But I can see Deacon getting a little jealous. That's what I feel like. I think the plan for today is to get around the 200 page mark. Hopefully I can get at least 200 pages in to the 200 page mark, so like about another 100 pages, but hopefully I can get a little bit more than 100 pages. But I am very much so enjoying this book, and I feel like today's going to be a great reading day. And I feel like also to make another great reading day, it is a little bit cooler. We did have a heat wave where I live, which is really odd, but the temperature dropped last night, so I am definitely excited. And I think that I want to spend some time reading outside today, so maybe I'll do that later this afternoon, but we'll see. No promises. But I'm probably going to get reading for today, and then I'll probably check in with you guys a little bit later. Okay, it's a little bit later in the day, but I think it's time to go outside. The temperature is quite perfect, and I still need to make it like a routine just to like be outside and get some sun. So let's go outside and I'll update you guys on where I'm at in the book. So let's go. have my picnic blanket all set up, and I brought some goodies. So I obviously brought my book, and I also brought out a Sudoku puzzle. I've been working on this for a little bit. I recently just got this as well. I've been wanting to do more Sudoku puzzles, and I don't necessarily have to wait a whole week for the newspaper to come by to do the Sudoku puzzle. And I don't know, I've been wanting to go back to it as well. It feels so nostalgic because I taught myself how to play Sudoku when I was in elementary school. So, and throughout the years I'll go on and off about it. But I don't know, I just got this big book from, where did I get it from? Barnes & Nobles. And I practically got it for free because rewards. So yeah. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do this, but you know, just in case I feel like doing that. And then I brought a snack and a drink, and both of these are very nostalgic because I have a Nutty Buddy. I don't know why they're called Nutty Buddies, but I call them Nutter Brothers. But they're so nostalgic. And then also in Arizona, I've been on an Arizona kick, so I guess let's crack it open together. So let's crack it open. Cheers. This brings back so much nostalgia. I used to have these during elementary and middle school as well, so brings back good memories. But I did want to talk to you guys about where I'm at in the book, so let's do that. I am currently on chapter 22, around the 175 page mark, and I was totally right about Deacon being a little bit jealous. I was totally right about that. And ooh, a butterfly. Hello. I was totally right about that. And also, we are continuing to learn more about Willow and her trying to branch herself out a little bit more. I am definitely happy that she's branching herself out because throughout the book we see like little glimpses of more of her relationship with her ex, and that guy is a total jerk. But also at the same time, I just wanted to jump into the book and be like, girly, like, I know you love him and all, but you still have to put yourself first, even though you're in a relationship. Like, you still have to take care of yourself. So I just wanted to jump into the book and say that. But who am I to give relationship advice? Because I've been chronically single for my whole life. I'm almost in my late 20s and never been in a relationship. But I still feel like just people watching and observing and reading books, I still feel like you should still take care of yourself and still go after the things that you want to do in life, even if you're in a relationship. Like, yeah, you still have them to consider because they're in your life, but you shouldn't have to put everything on hold because of a relationship. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? It's okay if I'm not making sense, but in my mind, I'm making sense. But yeah, so I'm glad that she is accomplishing her redo list, but now we're getting into the part where we're starting to see her and Deacon's relationship blossom a little bit more. I know Deacon is going through I guess, a redo list himself, because he's trying to go back into the Air Force. But the question is, like, that Willow brought up is, what if that doesn't happen? Like, do you have a plan? I know that's like what he really wants to do, but will he be able to get back in? So, I don't know. It's a good question. But I'm going to quit yapping, and I think I'm going to read a little bit more of my book and chill out here for a little bit. So, I think I'm going to do that. Hopefully I can get to the 200 page mark, maybe 250 if we're feeling lucky. So, yeah. Just finished reading 200 pages. I am now on chapter 25. I just finished this one part, and oh my goodness, it grind my gears so much. And I'm just gonna yap about it. I don't think this is going to be a spoiler. Hopefully it's not a spoiler. If you think it's a spoiler, let me know in the comments, and I'll just tell you guys to skip this part. But like on what page is this on? It was definitely in chapter 24 around. Oh, it started on page 197, about the bottom half of 197, where Willow and Deacon are having brunch. They have this discussion, and then the waitress is all touchy-feely on Deacon over here, and he's obviously not into it. And yet Willow, she's just doing this like touchy-feely act, trying to get him to, like, you know, she's being a whole pick-me-sha, and Willow's over here just like trying to keep it together. And I just wanted to, I wanted to get up into that book and snatch somebody up. Yep. Because in that situation, like, first of all, that is so rude. Second of all, don't you see that they're like on like a brunch date? And third of all, aren't you supposed to be doing your job waitressing? I bet you don't deserve no tip, honestly. I know that this is fictional, but I know that these things can happen in the real world. And poor Willow, I feel like I relate to Willow in this situation, because she did go off to the bathroom and started, like, you know, tearing up a little bit. And I just, and that made me want to jump into the book and console her and, like, be her best friend, because nobody deserves to be disrespected. And the nerve of the waitress after Willow went to the bathroom was like, oh, she seems like that she's a mess because she was writing in her journal and talking to herself. You know what? You know what? Some people think out loud, okay? I just so happen to be somebody that sometimes thinks out loud. Hell, I'm doing it now, talking about this book, thinking out loud, telling you guys, you know what I mean? And it's just so frustrating that I know that these things can happen in the real world. And people can be so cruel and so mean and do things to get the attention of a guy, even though they're like hanging out with friends and stuff like that. Like, if he's interested, he'll get to you. I don't know. Like, is it just me? But that was just so frustrating, and I just felt so bad for Willow, and I also felt bad for Deacon, because it's like, you know, you can't help that you look great and stuff like that. But I'm also happy that Deacon did stand up for Willow and stuff like that. So, but that's my little rant. Sorry about the lighting, but that was my little rant, and I think I'm gonna head back inside now. But my camera is about to die, so I need to charge that. But that's my reading update. I did make it to 200 pages, but I think I might read a little bit more. I think maybe not. I don't know. I'm gonna try though. And yeah, I did not do any Sudoku. I'll probably do that inside, honestly. But I think I'm going to head back inside and continue reading, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hello, it is day 3, and I am for sure going to finish this book today. Guarantee. Hands down. But I am on around the 300 page mark, so I have a little under 100 pages left. I am really enjoying this book. I really love the character development in both of our characters. I'm happy that Willow is achieving her redo list, and I'm also proud of Deacon just stepping out of his comfort zone, knowing that he might not be able to go back to the Air Force, but he is taking steps to meet other veterans and hang out with them in study groups and stuff like that. I'm currently at a place in the book where I just fell out laughing, and it's on page 297, and they're messing around in the library, and the librarian caught them, and they were like, sorry, studying for anatomy just got a little out of hand. And that poor librarian said, I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this. I don't know why, that just took me out. That poor librarian probably seen so many things in that building. I cannot, but that just tickled me, and I am very much so excited to finish this book, and I don't know, see where they end up. So yeah, but today is going to be the last day of finishing this book, so I'm going to continue on reading. Oh my god, today. Okay, let's talk about it. I'm on page 301, and she's on a trip with her friends, and her new friend that she met in Iowa asked why she was with her old boyfriend, because he sounds like the worst. And valid, because every time that there's like a mentioning of her ex, I'm like, girl, why did you pick him in the first place? Why did you do that? And then Willow says that he wasn't that bad. He's usually kind and sometimes could be funny. He cared about me. And how many times have you heard that in the real world? Or like on Instagram? Like, sure, but like once, like maybe because I don't understand, because I've never been in a relationship, but once it gets to a point where he's not caring for you, shouldn't you end things or start taking in account like this might not be your person? Is it because Willow or people in the situation don't necessarily want to be alone? Is that like a reason? Like, I'm not trying to like shame anybody. I'm genuinely trying to understand, because sometimes it just doesn't compute, because like he's not treating you well, or like, and maybe it's like a gradual thing to where like little bits and pieces like add up towards the end, to where you don't necessarily see it until like it gets into like a big pile. But I feel like reading that just like, I don't know, it just sparked something in me to where like I see this a lot on the internet. I see it a lot, and it's kind of concerning. But the real thing is, now the question is, what are you going to do about it? Because I see a lot of people on the internet, people are like, hey, this is very troublesome. You might want to take into account, like, this is not the person for you, or he's not treating you as great. And then the person who posted the initial reel or TikTok or situation on the internet defends their partner. But I also know that, you know, a lot of public opinion, like, sure, we don't know you, but also at the same time, viewers are pointing out like, hey, this is not necessarily a good situation. Like, keep your eyes open. Like, I don't know, but I feel like, yes, in the book, like, yes, like, why? That's a great question of the friend to bring up, because I was questioning that as well reading the book. And let me know your thoughts on how you feel in this situation, because I don't know, it's kind of confusing, but also like you want to give advice, but you also feel like you don't necessarily know these people, so you just don't. Well, I don't, but I don't know. Let me know. But back to reading. So good. head on inside and we can chat a little bit more. Made it back inside, but I finished The Redo List by Denise Williams, and it was so good. I really loved this book. It was so good with the character development, very good with the banter between the two love interests. There were a lot of reflections that I could relate to, and a lot of things that just made me curious about what I could do in my life. To be more courageous, to do more things on my goals list and stuff like that, be more adventurous. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. It was just so good. And I finished reading a Black author for the month of February. So that's another thing, because I really wanted to at least read one Black author for this month. And I did. And I felt like I can never go wrong with reading a Denise Williams book. And it was just so good, like always. But I finished that up, and that is so exciting. Let me know if you guys have read this book or read any other books by Denise Williams. It's just so good. And also, the characters from, what's it called? Just Our Luck or something like that, are in this book. They were in the friends group. So it's kind of like an interconnected, but not really interconnected storyline. But it's just so good. So I highly recommend reading Denise Williams. I highly recommend reading this book. There is some spice. There is some spice, but I feel like it's not like wild or anything. It's a good amount. Like, it doesn't necessarily take away from the plot. So, if that makes sense. But I think that's going to end this video for today. But thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments if you have read this book or any other books from Denise, and let me know what you're currently reading as well. I would like to know. But until next time, my friends, stay curious, stay cozy, stay reading. Bye, guys.